Good evening and welcome to Andover and the Husky Stadium. Tonight it's girls lacrosse. It's warm, it's breezy. Thin high clouds over Husky Stadium tonight. In Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids 2-4 on the air. Andover 2-3. The Huskies played last night and struggled a bit, getting beat by Hudson, Wisconsin 15-0, but they're back at it on home turf. Meanwhile, last outing for Spring Lake Park was a win over Apple Valley 12-7 at Spring Lake Park. Tonight's game sponsored by Snap Fitness Andover. Snap Fitness Andover's Mindset Performance Academy program helps student athletes level up their game on and off the playing field. Learn more at www.snapfitness.com or on Facebook at Snap Fitness Andover and Instagram at snapfitness_Andover. Spring Lake Park wearing blue. Their goalie Jane Romaker will defend the goal down to our left, 2-3 on the year. Save percentage .564. Andover in white will defend the goal in quarter number 1 down to our right. And that is Lucy Morgan, the senior. Her save percentage 55%. So a couple of good goalies in this game tonight. And of course, the big challenge is winning those draws. And Grace Schmidt for the Panthers is outstanding, as a matter of fact, in the top 5 in the state of Minnesota on draw controls. And out there for Andover, Mila Evers, and it is controlled by Andover, picked up by Elray Atkinson, 6 goals on the year, and gets it back to Evers. And Andover goes to work in the attack zone. Big thanks to our crew on site and back in the studios in Champlin. Once again, there is a bit of a breeze blowing from south to north, or right now at Andover's back on the attack. This is Atkinson in the middle. And right now, Spring Lake Park sitting back defensively. Ella Yates. And now some action out of Andover. As they try and run some cuts, they get it in front. And that's a goal. Elray Atkinson, her 7th of the year. And Andover on the board early. Time of that goal, just 46 seconds in. Atkinson, her 7th of the year, and that was a nice cut. She got it in the middle and was able to get the shot away and beat Jane Romaker, who's had a very nice year. And as we pointed out on our telecast, any save percentage over 600 in lacrosse is outstanding. Both goalies tonight save percentages in the mid-500s. That's still quite good, but not much Romaker, the junior, could do there. Addie Romaker, her sister, on defense, wearing number 33. They have a couple of sets of sisters on the team, Peyton and Paige Scandrett. One on the attack, that's Peyton. On defense, Paige. And of course, their leading scorer, Grace Schmidt. And that draw will be controlled by Spring Lake Park, and they go to work in the attack zone. That's Dewar. Dewar hanging on to it outside that 12-meter fan on top. Dewar gives it up to Schmidt. Schmidt, 4 goals shy of 100 in her career. They get it inside. Dewar, good cut, kick save out of there by Morgan. Hit Morgan in the leg. Might leave a mark. And Andover's going to clear. Nice clear near his sideline. And Huskies move it forward, up 1-0 early in this one. We got a bump along the sideline. That's Katie Farrell. And Farrell's going to continue forward for Andover. They get to the goal line extended and set up shop. And once again, Spring Lake Park setting up defensively just outside that 8-meter line. That's really an opportunity for Andover to start running cuts. Here's Evers. Evers powers her way in. And we're going to get a shove there defensively. Kylie Edwards, senior for the Panthers. And this is going to be a free position for Evers. 9 points on the year for Evers. And when you get that free position on the 8, I've always felt like the step and shoot She steps, she shoots, and the big save by Romaker. Romaker ready for it. That's grabbed. Good clear there by the Panthers as they move it forward. On the run, Peyton Scandrett. Scandrett goes into the middle, clears it out to the left side, and now they'll reset. They want it in the hands of Schmidt for sure. Good run into the middle. Here's Edwards, and that's grabbed by the goalie, Morgan. Morgan a clear to the near side. Nice long clear again. And around the defender is Farrell. Katie Farrell on the run for Andover. Up 1-0. Just about 3 minutes into quarter number one here on QCTV. QCTV.org. And, of course, YouTube.com/QCTV, wherever you're joining us tonight. Whether it's on cable TV or the World Wide Web, we're glad you're along. Many in the middle. Double team comes, tried to get it down low. Ground ball, but it's grabbed by Andover. They had two players down low, and they're able to go to work again. Pass into the middle, a catch, and that's blocked out of there by Romaker. May have hit the side of the net, but a nice cut into the middle by the Huskies, and the shot went just wide. That was Emily Stromberg, a senior for Andover. Brad Geis, head coach for Andover. And Sam Hasbrook, head coach for Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids. Co-op program, but they do go by Spring Lake Park Panthers. They have Panthers on their uniforms here tonight. Pass into the middle. Ground ball opportunity. Coming out of there come the Panthers. They're going to continue their run. And they move it forward. On the run down the field is Wigan. Wigan right down the middle, all the way in, shoots and scores. Oh, Wigan ties it up. And that was set up by, I believe, Scandrett on the defensive side. Paige Scandrett fed it forward. And SLP gets the equalizer.
Panthers goal by number 24, Katie Wigan.
Wigan, her 7th of the year. And that comes at 4:13. Just like that, but an effective clear, good defensive play. And then it was Katie Wigan, the senior, and just walked right in. Not much Lucy Morgan could do about that. 1-1 here in the first. And there's a draw control by Schmidt. Just flat out outstanding. And look at her career numbers for Spring Lake Park. Cut into the middle. She'll walk right in and go top shoulder and get her first goal of the night. And Spring Lake Park has two quick ones. This time it's Schmidt. And that comes at 4:25. So it took just 6 seconds for the Panthers to grab a 2-1 lead. And coming in for Schmidt, she has a single-season goals record at 50, single-season ground ball record at 72, second in single-season draw controls at 105. That's her 97th career goal, and ranked 4th overall in the state in draw controls. So Andover has her hands full on those draws. That one's popped into the air, and this time Andover's going to get the better of it. And a really nice job, and that's Ella Thorson in there. And now here come the Huskies. Ella Yates gets it down to Farrell. And back out to Yates. Ground ball, but nobody near. No worry for Andover to lose control there. That was Alexis Wagner with 3 goals on the year that put it on the ground, got it back. Andover on the attack. Once again, Spring Lake Park not super active defensively early in this one. Cut into the middle, a catch, and then blocked out of there. Many had an opportunity and then got it back. Nice job by Romaker. Spring Lake Park, 2 quick goals. They have the lead here in quarter number 1, as you can see on your screen. We've got softball Thursday, lacrosse again on Friday night here on QCTV. There's a quick shot. That goes wide. Shot attempt. Andover hangs on. They had a player down deep. And now trying to work her way to the front and getting to the front. Evers. And that one's a ground ball. And yeah, we have a legal stick on Spring Lake Park, and this is going to be an opportunity for many. 3 goals on the year. She's going to be at that 8-meter line, free position. Once a great opportunity is step and shoot. She steps in, goes up high. Rollmaker grabs it. Quick clear to the near side, and it goes on the ground. And that is an offside on Spring Lake Park. Peyton Scandrett stepped over that line, which would be the 30-yard line for football. So, and now we've got the goalie coming out, Jane Rollmaker. Rollmaker along the sideline. I don't know if she's feeling ill, took her helmet off. She may have got hit by a shot. I'm not too sure about it. Yeah. We know what that is the universal sign for. So 2-1. Spring Lake Park leading Andover. Andover got the first goal of the game. That was Ella Ray Atkinson, her 7th of the year at 46 seconds. And then Spring Lake Park, 2 quick ones. First goal of the game for Katie Wiggin at 4:31. And then at 4:25, just 6 seconds later, Grace Schmidt with the draw control. And then she went right down the field and gave Spring Lake Park the lead, 2-1. And we have Layla Clarkson coming in to play goalie. It looks like Clarkson's going to put the gear on. And I would assume she would get a chance to warm up. Actually, Clarkson listed at 55. Goalie out there is 54. Could be 54. Muhlenhaus in goal for Spring Lake Park. So once again, Rollmaker not feeling well. Andover going to work, try to get the tying goal here in the first. Once again, they're out around that 12-meter line. Stromberg gives it up. Many made sure. Farrell has it. Now they give it up. Good run, couple of dodge moves for Wagner, and now they go to the X position behind that net. They gain control. Cut in the middle, ground ball. Looks like Andover's going to control. Wagner gets to it. Another ground ball opportunity. And Andover's going to hang on after the whistle. Rollmaker's still on the sideline. Remains to be seen if she comes back into the game. The starting goalie fell ill, but did make it to the sideline. And it's picked off by Spring Lake Park, and now they're to midfield. They've got a good run. Good spin move there. Now they go to work here. Schmidt, she has the last goal. For Schmidt, 16 on the year, 2 assists coming in. 97 in her great career for the Panthers. Now it's Peyton Scandrett back behind the goal, looking for a cut. And that's going to be a foul on Andover. This is going to be a free position over on the left side, I believe, for Spring Lake Park. That'll be Katie Wiggin. Wiggin had the first goal of the game. She has 7 on the year. And now Wigan from a tough angle. Lucy Morgan waits, the goalie for Andover. Pops out of her stick, on the ground, and it looks like Spring Lake Park's going to hang on. Schmidt was able to run it down. Grace Schmidt. Schmidt has it out at the 12-meter line. Gives it up. Now they run a play. Getting inside, good move, good spin, good defense though by Andover to stay in front. We can had it knocked away, but the Panthers hang on. Put it on the ground, down below the end line. Erica Maida, sophomore. Maida double team, turned away. Goes back to that X position. And now she'll try to get to the front. We got another foul situation. This is going to be another free position, and that's a stick up high. And an opportunity for Allie Edwards, sophomore attack. 12 goals, 9 assists. Edwards had a big year, leading the team with 21 points. And Edwards has a chance here. Once again, Morgan the goalie for Andover. Under 2 to go, quarter number 1. She'll go to the middle, try to find room. Shoots, saved by Morgan. She went to her right to save, and now we got another stop. We're going to get a yellow. We're going to get a yellow on Andover. That's going to be Piper Andrews. Andrews yellow at 10:22. She will take a knee. Non-opportunity near side for Edwards again. Edwards on the 8. We'll see if she'll pass down to the side of the net. Shot goes wide. And Edwards gets there to scoop it up. Boy, in the 8, I'm just a big fan of the step and shoot. Aim for the shoe tops. Make the goalie go down and get it. There's one out toward Wigan. Saves the ground ball. And now it's Schmidt. Grace Schmidt. Spin. Good defense by Andover. Plumbo on her. Schmidt will go behind the net. Coming up on 1 to go, quarter number 1. Schmidt. No room. Once again, a clear path to shoot in the girls' game. No stick near the head. And now we got to foul off the ball, and this one's going to go on Spring Lake Park, so Andover very patient. Piper Andrews took the yellow, and now it's an opportunity for the Huskies. They're going to begin their run. Coming up on 30 to go, quarter number 1. Huskies have a chance to tie. This is Many. Gives it up. Evers. Evers and Many play catch near his side. Out on top. That's Atkinson. Andover looking for some goal scoring. They were shut out by Hudson a night ago. Wagner. That'll do it. Wagner's not going to get near the net to get a shot away. So good D by Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids. Panthers lead it 2-1 after 1. Quarter number 2 coming up in a moment here on QCTV.
Talk to any track athlete, nerves are such a big part of it. It's just getting yourself worked up, but I like to think of nerves like preparing you for something that you've never done before, and that adrenaline is like really a privilege. Some people don't get the opportunity to race, and we're out here and we get to move, and so that's just a cool thing.
My goal for the season is to make it to state, do well in state for pole vault, get better in discus, and hopefully be on like a 4x1 or a 4x3 track team.
It's definitely a team sport. Talking about relays, you have to make sure your teammates are in the right spot, and you have to have the right team chemistry in order to pass the baton in between everybody. You also want to help your teammates while you're running, uplift them before the race, and after the race, you know, be with them and congratulate them after.
I joined to get better and faster for soccer, which was my main sport. But I either want to run in college or play soccer in college. I'm not sure yet.
Track and field helps me in football and basketball by helping me pace myself and learning the correct running form.
I think my goals mostly are just to kind of have fun with all my friends. Like, I'm a senior, it's my last year. Like, it was a lot of fun last year when I was a junior with those seniors, and then now that I'm the senior, kind of like making a relationship with the underclassmen, like hanging out with my friends, just kind of enjoying my last couple months here.
My name is Ellie Fields.
Cameron Gully.
Sam Audet.
Isaac, Junior.
Peyton McKnight.
Ava, I'm a junior at Andover High School. I've been running track for 4 years.
For 4 years.
For 4 years.
Since elementary school.
Elementary school.
And this is my 3rd year running track.
And we are back. Quarter number 2 set to get started here at Huskies Stadium in Andover. It is girls lacrosse tonight. And Spring Lake Park leads it 2-1. Andover got the lead. Atkinson at 46 seconds, and Spring Lake Park got a goal from Wigan at 4:31. 6 seconds later, Grace Schmidt, their leading scorer, 15 goals on the year at 4:25, and that's where we stand. One penalty, and that was Piper Andrews, got the yellow at 10:27, didn't hurt the Huskies. And we switch ends, defending the goal down to our left. Andover's Lucy Morgan in white. And we have another draw. And it is popped into the air and grabbed by Schmidt. Another draw at control. She went right into the 8, got bumped, and she's going to get a free position. Came in 4 goals shy of 100 in her career, has 1 already. And I would assume we're going to see a step and shoot out of Schmidt. She'll run in. She'll power her way all the way through and get the goal. Just a good, quick step and went right in on the goalie, and Morgan didn't have much of a chance. Spring Lake Park leads it 3-1.
Spring Lake Park goal to number 12, Grace Schmidt. Her second goal tonight.
Well, that is number 98 in her career, and the break for Morgan. And Jane Rollmaker is back in net down to our right for Spring Lake Park. She came out, fell ill, and now is feeling better. In the net down to our right. Schmidt going against Wagner, and we got a ground ball opportunity. It's going to be key for Andover to win some of these draw controls, and ultimately it's picked up by Schmidt and Spring Lake Park. And that's where they have been very good all year, thanks to Schmidt. And now it's Dewar. Dewar out on top. Nice year, 5 goal, 1 assist, sophomore mid. Edwards. Edwards, another sophomore. Future pretty bright for the Spring Lake Park program. Edwards works her way in, trying to skip it by the goalie over the top. And the Panthers had 2 players deep, and they're going to hang on. That's Mettis down low. Grace Mettis, just an 8th grader. Speaking of youth on this Panthers squad. High clouds, no threat of rain. Here's Edwards to the front, blocked out of there. And Spring Lake Park's going to hang on. Allie Edwards. And I misspoke. There's 3 sets of sisters. Kylie Edwards, senior defense. Allie Edwards, sophomore attack for Spring Lake Park. Joins the Scandrets and the Rollmakers on this squad. There's a shot from Schmidt. Tough angle. 3 in the game for Schmidt. That's 99 in her career. And that comes at 1:56. And now It is 4-1 Spring Lake Park, and it all gets back to the draw controls. And now Brad Geis going to send Sophia Benny out there and see if she can solve Schmidt. Note from the coach, Sam Hasbrook. He's going to play lacrosse at UW Eau Claire. Congrats to her. And we're going to get a do-over. In the middle of the field. Popped into the air, and that's controlled by Spring Lake Park. Just a huge key to the game. Look at Champlin Park girls lacrosse. There's a quick pass into the middle, and it's saved by Morgan. They tried to go up high. Morgan was ready. Big save there to keep it a 4-1 game. But Champlin Park, outstanding team. Not ranked right now, but certainly a solid program. And Reese Hagenbart just dominates the face-off circle and draw controls. It is a huge part of the game for the boys and the girls. The goalie still has it. We've got quite a grouping of players in the middle of the field. And now they clear it out of there. Morgan was very patient, and now Andover's going to move it forward. And now they need some zone time. They need to get a goal. They need to put one on the board as Andover goes to work. Ella Thorson down to the goal line extended. It's really imperative that they have a good, solid possession. They get it inside, quick shot, and that's going to go wide. Well, they got Farrell to the net, but it went wide. I don't know if Romaker got a handle on it. Another cut shot and a goal, and that's going to be Ella Yates. And Andover gets a big goal to make it 4-2. Time of the goal, 3:48. Yates. First goal of the game went to Andover. And Elray Atkinson, now it's Yates, making it 4-2.
Number 15, Captain Ella Yates. Assist by number 34, Lila Evers.
I give the assist to Evers. And once again, good cut. Yates caught it and beat the goalie, Romaker. And now it's 4-2. We'll go right back to the middle of the field. Schmidt on the draw for the Panthers in blue. That one's popped into the air. Chance for Andover to get a draw control, and on the ground ball, Atkinson, good job. Popped that into the air, ran down the ground ball, and now fed it to Many. Important for Andover to hang on to it and keep their momentum, and they do. It's Yates. Yates is going to try and run out of traffic. Yates had that goal a moment ago. She's feeling it. And now is going to give it up. And that's Many. And now Andover. Many into the middle. Double team comes, backs out of there. Atkinson down to the goal line extended. That is Evers over there. Now behind the net to the X position. Thorson. Thorson trying to come out. Turned away into the middle, ground ball grab by Spring Lake Park. Kylie Edwards. Edwards put it on the ground. Another opportunity for Andover to get it back in their own end. Who's going to win this ground ball? Another key to this game, ground ball opportunities. And Andover's going to hang on after the shove by Spring Lake Park. That was Metis Eighth grade attack with the shove. And now Andover gets it right back as we get to the midway point of quarter number 2. And down 4-1, you're really in a danger zone. But they did get a goal and they get the ball back. And now they've got to cash another one in. And Manny goes to work right side. Spring Lake Park kind of laying back. Manny works away in, scores! Split the defenders and beat the goalie Romaker. And Andover has 2 in a row, and they're right back in it. Time of the goal, 5:39. First of the game for Manny, 4th of the year. So Andover a little momentum back, and it's once again off those draw controls. They've been able to win some ground balls, and that is a huge development. And how can they keep that going? Atkinson for Andover, Schmidt for Spring Lake Park. And this is where momentum in the game can change dramatically, and Andover has been able to grab a little of that. Popped into the air, batted out of there by Schmidt. Still a ground ball opportunity. And it's controlled there by Spring Lake Park. Dewar jumped into the fray. She was just outside that circle. And now it's Schmidt. Schmidt has 3 goals in a row. Hat trick tonight, 1 shy of 100. Schmidt to the cutter, goes all the way through. Ground ball. Can Andover control? They can. Now they're behind their own net. And Andover's going to run it out of there. So not a lot of zone time for Spring Lake Park. They were up 4-1. Now 4-3 Andover. Huskies go to work. Trying to move it forward. Plumbo. Plumbo's going to carry it over midfield. Plumbo's going to give it up. And now this is Ella Thorson. 9 points on the season for Thorson. It's kind of on the near side of the field. Right side of the attack. As we approach 5 to go in this first half. Evers back there. Cutter in the middle, ground balls controlled by Andover at the 12. They go back further outside. Here's Yates. Yates gives it up, going inside and bouncing it in. Is Mila Evers, her 10th point of the year. Make that her 11th. She had an assist earlier. Andover scored 3 in a row, and we're tied at 4. Time of the goal is 7:02. Assist to Yates. Evers the goal. She has a goal and an assist. Andover spreading the goals around. Her first of the night. 4:58 to go, quarter number 2. Just like that, we're knotted up at 4. So tip of the cap to Andover, getting a lot of momentum back after going down 4-1, 2 minutes into quarter number 2. Schmidt can't control. Still a ground ball opportunity. And over another ground ball. Farrell. Katie Farrell came out of there with that ground ball. And now the Huskies go to work. That's Evers, the junior. Now it's Thorson. Trying to run out. Gets it to the cutter. Off the stick of Stromberg. Ground ball is Schmidt. Schmidt's going to quickly move it forward. Grabbed there by Mettis. Mettis will begin her run down. They have numbers 4-on-2. Andover trying to get back defensively. They're going to move it outside and set it up. Spring Lake Park. Little shovel pass, ground ball grabbed by Andover. Huskies are going to maintain control. Nice job there by Andrews. Andrews is going to run it forward. Piper Andrews up the far sideline, challenged by Mittis, shoved to the sideline, and she was actually forced out over there. Andrews is going to carry it all the way around the net. That's a long run. We approach 3 to go, quarter number 2. Andrews, I think, is going to jog out from behind. No timeout so far. Andrews will get back on side. And moving into the attack, Yates. Yates has a goal and an assist. Coming out from behind the net, Thorson. Thorson deflected away. Defensively, body between you and the person on the attack. So key. Ground ball, batted to the outside. Can Andover win another ground ball? We'll see. And it is scooped up over there by Farrell. And Farrell's going to hang on as they reset. And now we get back at it. Here's Farrell. Gives it up on the left. On the ground, Evers. She used her body well to gain control. Gets in front. Shot goes wide. Huskies are going to hang on. As the player deep was Ella Thorson. And we have, on that end, run out of, there was no ball in the vicinity, and now Thorson's got it, and we're back at it. 2 to go, quarter number 2. Thorson gets to the front, shot goes wide. Once again, Andover had a player deep, lone player deep, Mila Evers. So all that matters, is it a shot attempt? And that is a judgment call if there's a player around the net, because sometimes a pass can look like a shot attempt, but that was clearly an attempt to score a goal. 4-4, Andover scored 3 in a row. Here's Evers trying to get to the front. Turned away. Evers a dodge to the goal line extended. Now they'll get it back down. The Thorson, the senior. What a career she's had at Andover. Multi-sport athlete, trying to spin. She gets hit on the hand. She's going to try and shake that off. Not particularly cold, but it still hurts. Addie Romaker defensively. And on the run, here's Many the shot. Deflected behind the net, another ground ball. Evers grabs it. Andover's just controlled things since about 3 minutes into this quarter. They were down 4-1, and they have really taken over to tie it at 4 and have an opportunity to grab the lead at the break. Evers challenged. Back down to Thorson. We'll see what kind of play they run. He's going to try to get to the front. Double team comes. Does a nice job hanging on to it. And Thorson works away in front, shoots, save, Romaker, deflected away, and Farrell's going to run it down for Andover in the far corner. 15 seconds to go. Farrell runs to the front. Farrell trying to get a shot away. She gets shoved. That should be, now it's Evers. Evers a shot. That goes wide. I think we're going to get a free position. I would think that Farrell got hit on the hand. Evers might get the free position. Let's see what the ruling is here. I would... yeah, it is Evers with the free position over there on the far side. So with 5.5 to go, Andover trying for their 4th in a row. Romaker trying to keep it out of the net. Evers into the middle. The cutter catches. Blocked by Romaker. What a save. Robs Ella Yates. And we are knotted at 4 through 2 quarters of play. It is girls lacrosse. Andover coming in 2-3. Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids 2-4. And we've had a very close game. Spring Park, the first 2 goals of the quarter to make it 4-1. It was Schmidt, her second of the game. Then Schmidt completes a hat trick at 1:56. Then Andover really took over. Goal for the Huskies, Ella Yates at 3:48. Then Sophia Meny at 5:39. And then the equalizer, Mila Evers. It's the goal at 7:02. We are tied at 4. The third quarter coming up here on QCTV.
My name is Denise Klipsick, and I am the owner of the franchise here in Blaine, Andover, the Just Between Friends Kid Sale, and we are an event that's a community event where families in our community come in and they sell their items, and then they offer them to community members who need them at a great savings. So it's just a win-win. I always say we're families helping families, because it keeps going on and on and on. We have been in Blaine, Andover since 2009. I have not always been the owner, but it started out with two friends, and that's what we are, Just Between Friends, and we just keep growing families and families and families. So I became an owner with Just Between Friends just because I really did like what we do here. I am a special needs mom, and I really needed to find a way not only to help my kids and my growing family, but I wanted to help families like mine. New families, just starting out. We got a lot of baby bumps here today. And also just kids who are older, and they just need to stretch their budget just a little bit further. So I just love what I do. Clothes are expensive. Kids are expensive, and if we can save some parents some money that maybe they can do something fun, or maybe just say yes to something extra, it's always nice. So they can go to BlaineJBFSale.com, and on there are tickets for the events. The event is free to come and shop, but we just ask that you get tickets online. It helps us as staff, it helps us to know who's coming and when. I said a lot of the stuff will go back to other families too, so when the sale is over, our families can come pick up, or they can choose to donate it. And we have a lot of different charities that we try to work with in our area, so it's nice. So even though you might see a Just Between Friends, you can go to Texas and have a Just Between Friends. The idea is the same, we're families helping families, but we're a family also within our community.
If you didn't make it to the April event, you'll have another chance, September 4th through 7th.
So one of the things that I do that's a little bit different than maybe some of the other coaches in Anoka Hennepin is we don't have our tryout until after spring break, because it has just been really tough logistically to get a really fair tryout and see everyone. We need them all together. Spring break has just happened to be that same time as when softball starts for a little bit. So we started Monday, and we did miss a little bit of nice weather, but if no one's here, that's hard. So I think that I'm doing softball year round. So even when softball's on nobody else's mind, I'm probably trying to fill a tournament. I'm probably trying to make sure my teams have games. I just found out who has 4 teams, who has 3, what teams they have. So now we're trying to adjust that, trying to make sure they're all in some tournaments, just trying to get them their 20 games in, hopefully. And then gym space, there's a calendar that we all share and look at. I try to talk about the girls about doing the weight training leading into it. We always talk about faster, quicker, stronger coming into the season. So I've been coaching high school softball since 1986.
So you know what you're doing?
I don't know if I always would say I know what I'm doing. What I would say is I've had to change with the times. Softball's changed, it's grown. Teenagers have changed. I know that as a teacher as well. I have to grow with them. Are there still boundaries? Yes. Are there still things that we really expect from them and that they expect from us? Yes. But I would say absolutely that every year going into it, you kind of have to look at the logistics of your team and what works with them and what's not going to work with them. And I can't treat every girl exactly the same. You know, we always talk about like things should be equal, but they're not the same. And they have stuff going on sometimes, you know. So we just have to, sometimes you just got to work through it. You go in thinking like, okay, like right now I would say like, okay, we're feeling pretty strong, you know, defensively. We're feeling like we need to get our bats going. We're feeling like, you know, who's gonna go where and who's gonna do what. And then you get into that first game and you're like, whoa, okay, well, we're not hitting too bad, but boy, our defense, you know, so sometimes it's like, whoa, wait a minute. Other times it's like, oh, wow, you know, but the thing is no matter what, you know, we work hard every day, you know, and the girls at Andover have been awesome about that. They want to, you know, they just love playing softball, and so they don't really get too upset about a little bit longer practice or Saturday practice or anything like that. Today will be our first day with our actual varsity and JV. That's who's here today. The JV coach will go like to the other end, and we'll have this end. And really, it's just setting goals, having one-on-ones with the girls and talking about their expectations and what our expectations are, team discussions, and then that's outside of what we do, you know, on the field. So really just working on making sure we're all on the same page. I think we're going to be competitive this year. We've got some strong competition like we always do in the Northwest Suburban Conference, but we're ready.
Evenly matched game here in Andover, Husky Stadium. It's girls lacrosse. Andover hosting Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids. And after one, it was 2-1 Spring Lake Park. And then the Panthers grabbed a 4-1 lead, 156 into quarter number 2. Andover scored 3 in a row. We're tied at 4. Andover defending the goal to our right, Lucy Morgan. Spring Lake Park defending the goal down to our left. Jane Romaker, who was ill early, came out of the game and now is back in there. And Spring Lake Park's going to get it, so ultimately a draw control for them. And that led to Spring Lake, or I should say Andover's comeback, that they were able to get to the better of the draw controls and the ground balls in that third quarter. And now we have another ground ball opportunity, and Spring Lake Park's going to control with Paige Scandrett. Or excuse me, Andover's going to get it back. No, they give it back to the Huskies. And a nice catch there by Ellie Yates. Yates has a goal and an assist. Yates will trot up the near sideline, and Andover right back to the attack. Yeah, about 3 minutes into quarter number 2, they flipped the switch and got right back into it. They were in the danger zone of getting blown out a bit. They were down to 4-1, but they are back at it. On the run, it's Many. Out of the goal line extended. Here's Evers. Out of that X position, Thorson. She'll work off to the right side. Thorson and Evers start down low. Thorson trying to get to the front. Now outside the 12-meter fan. She'll continue her run into the middle. Get inside right down the middle and score! They're going to call the whistle before the shot. But she is going to get her free position right in the middle. So she got hit near the 8. Now it's a chance for Ella Thorson. Shot and a save. Romaker went to her right. And now the clear out to the left. Ground ball picked up. They'll begin their run back the other way. They get it to midfield and beyond. On the run, here's Wiggin. Wiggin spins, steps through a double team, gets shoved down. Oh, boy. You'll see that in the boys' game, not very often in the girls' game. Girls not wearing nearly as much gear, and that was a big-time shove. And Katie Wiggin, the senior, she had their first goal at 4:31 of the first. She has 7 on the year, and now Wiggin will set up. Early third quarter. Into the middle, caught by Schmidt. Schmidt, nice dodge to get out of trouble with the ball. She had no way to get a shot off. Schmidt had 3 in a row. 1 to end the first, 2 to start the second. She is stuck on 99 in her career. Scandrett. Paige Scandrett. Now Spring Lake Park settling in on the attack, trying to get the go-ahead goal. They were well on their way. And Andover bounced back. Tough loss at Hudson last night, 15-0. Trying to bounce back in their final game of the week this week. Schmidt put it on the ground, got stripped right at the 8-meter line. Good, clean play there by Andover. Now a run for the Huskies. Piper Andrews. Andrews got the yellow in the first, but has made some nice plays. Let's run it all the way down. I'm sure at some point Andrews will give it up and then retreat. Junior defender Piper Andrews maintains control, working with Evers. Continues her run back there, being hounded by Kylie Edwards. Andrews still has it. Now she'll give it up. This is Thorson. Now Andrews will indeed retreat, take a break. Now it's Ella Thorson. Doesn't have a goal in the game so far, but certainly has been a factor. Put it on the ground, got it back. Nice job on the ground ball. She's getting shoved. And Andover's going to hang on. Just about 5 minutes into quarter number 3. Thorson got near the 8. Now got shoved from behind. This will be a free position. She got steamrolled. Now an opportunity for her. I'm a little surprised that wasn't a yellow, but she just got run down by Schmidt. Now it's Ella Thorson. Looks like she might wind it up, let it fly. Romaker, the goalie. Shot. Wide. Spring Lake Park had the player deep near the end line. They're going to get it back. So it went just wide. Now the Panthers have it. 4-4 game. Midway through the third. Good long run here for Kylie Dewar, sophomore midfielder. Dewar's going to carry it to the top, work toward the left. Schmidt is on her right. Schmidt was on a hot streak, 3 in a row. From late quarter number 1 into quarter number 2. Now it's Allie Edwards, sophomore attack. They certainly have some youth up front, along with Schmidt. Dewar hands it off. Trying to power away is Edwards. Edwards with the charge. You can't charge into a defender. Good job by Andover. Huskies come back the other way. Here's a long run. Sophia Menny, the sophomore. Menny's going to bring it up. Menny continues her run. She's going to swing all the way around the net. And look for the cutter. Finds the cutter. Shot blocked over the top. Nice feed to Evers. But it was blocked away. Menny did a lot of work on that run. And almost fed Evers. for what would have been her second in a row, the fourth in a row for Andover. This is Farrell out on the left. Katie Farrell, the junior. And then just threw it away. Oh, that's too bad. Manny wasn't able to run it down. Unforced error. There haven't been a ton of those tonight. It's been a rarity. Beautiful night for the players. Cool, breezy, but certainly not cold. Dewar into the middle. They get it to Schmidt. Schmidt near the 8. Gets shoved. Andover doing a good job. Splits the defenders. Gets a shot. Goes wide. Spring Lake Park's going to hang on. Schmidt looking for a fourth of the night. But it went wide. Morgan's done a nice job. She's had some big saves for the Huskies in this game. Maida. Erica Maida, a sophomore. They certainly have some seniors that contribute big time. They also have some youngsters. Schmidt right in the middle. Andover challenges. Now it's Maida. Maida trying to go around the net. Andover set up a wall. Ground ball, batted around, comes into the middle. Picked up by Andover. That was Farrell. Farrell back the other way to midfield. She's got a good run. She gets shoved by Metis. Andover will maintain possession. No goals so far in the third. Clock on the move, under 2:30 to go here in this third quarter. Now it's Wagner. Wagner has some room, runs in over the top of the net. Oh, Romaker saw it go right. She had it measured, but it went right over the top. Andover's going to get it. That is Ella Thorson again. Thorson and Evers, mainstays down low for Brad Geis at Andover. Head coach Sam Hasbrook from Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids. The Panthers here tonight. Evers to the cutter, a shot. Did it draw iron? No. We got a violation, Spring Lake Park. That partially blocked by Evers. Ground ball knocked away from Schmidt. Spring Lake Park's going to hang on to it. Great Schmidt, one of the captains. Katie Wiggin, another captain. Peyton Scandrett. Now Spring Lake Park to the middle. Metis. Is it up way out on the left? Edwards works her way to the front. And that's saved by Lucy Morgan. Morgan challenged her. And most important of all, has the ball. And a nice clear. Farrell. Double team. Goes up the sideline. Gets shoved. She'll stay on the move. Opportunity for Andover if they keep it moving. Farrell turned away. Now we'll set it up. Eisinger on the field. Caitlin Eisinger, a sophomore. This is Farrell. Another good run for her. She slips at the 12. Is able to give it up. There's a collision. That's going to be at the 8. That's a free position. And that's one of those where you could potentially call a charge. They didn't. Alexis Wagner. 3 goals for the 9th grader. Wagner free position. Just to the left, to the middle. Romaker, the goalie. Stop, shoot, scores. Andover has scored 4 in a row. They have a 5-4 lead with 12 seconds remaining in the third. Time of the goal, 11:48. So Wagner on the free position. Gives Andover a 5-4 lead. So from down 4-1, up 5-4 late in the third. Quite a turnaround for the Huskies as they try to get to 3-3 on the year. Andover game Monday against Champlin Park postponed. I know there was the threat of severe weather. It never materialized here in the metro area. I know there was some bad stuff north of the cities, south of the cities. We're glad everyone's okay. There was some property damage. But it was built up to be the weather event of the century. Spring Lake Park, they have a little time. Dewar turned away, just seconds remaining. Schmidt at the 8, tries to get a shot away. It goes wide, and that's the end of the quarter. So Spring Lake Park won that draw and got a shot away. But we have played 3. Andover grabs a 5-4 lead. We'll go to the 4th here on QCTV.
Wainio, and I am the program coordinator for Chores and More, which is a part of Anoka County Community Action Program, or ACAP. We serve seniors ages 60 and over who reside in Anoka County. Our clients want to remain living independently in their homes. Cognitively, they can still live on their own, but physically, they are no longer able to do these sometimes strenuous tasks. This is where Chores and More can help. Many seniors are on a fixed income, and it can be difficult to afford services. We work on a sliding fee scale to help keep chore services affordable for all income levels. Chores and More provides household services to seniors, including light housekeeping, mowing, raking, snow removal, and minor home repairs. We utilize volunteers and independent contractors to perform these chores. Our workers enjoy being able to make their own schedules. They can choose which job requests they want to perform, as well as how many requests. Many of our independent contractors have full-time jobs elsewhere. They are looking to supplement their income, as well as give back to their community. Independent contractors and volunteers can definitely tailor the work they do around their personal lives. If you or someone you know is looking for either a volunteer opportunity or a part-time paid position, please consider Chores and More. You will know that you are helping someone who needs your help. It's a great way to make a difference in someone else's life.
Huskies Stadium Girls Lacrosse tonight here on QCTV, QCTV.org, and our YouTube channel, youtube.com/QCTV. Spring Lake Park led at 2-1 after 1. We were tied at 4 at the half and over the lone goal in the third. And that was Alexis Wagner in a free position with 12 seconds remaining in the quarter to give Andover a 5-4 lead. Spring Lake Park did get a shot away right at the end of the quarter, but it stayed out of the net. Good job by Lucy Morgan, the Andover goalie. And we have 12 minutes remaining, barring overtime. Jane Romaker, Spring Lake Park goalie, will defend the goal down to our right. The breeze at her back. And on the other end, for Andover in white, Lucy Morgan. We're right back in the middle of the field. And Andover's done a nice job tonight neutralizing Grace Schmidt. And the draw controls, Andover's certainly won their fair share. And it's popped into the air. Ground ball opportunity. And it is controlled by the Panthers. Ruby Castillo has it. Castillo, sophomore midfielder. 1 goal on the year, and Castillo has it. Put on the ground, stolen away. Isinger grabbed it. And now Andover Eisinger, good run to the good cut at the middle of the field. She's going to run it down, trying to hang on to it, and she'll go into attack mode. Nice job by Eisinger, the sophomore. Listed as a midi and a defender, and now it's Manny. Manny had the third Andover goal. Thorson trying to get to the front, cutter in the middle, ground ball. Can Andover maintain control? Still on the ground, batted around, and it is scooped up by Schmidt for Spring Lake Park. She'll win the ground ball battle. Done such a great job on ground balls her entire career. Now Schmidt sets up way out on the right side. UW Eau Claire bound. So many Minnesota kids end up at those WIAC schools. River Falls, Stout, Eau Claire, Lacrosse, Stevens Point, Platteville, Whitewater. Quite a conference in all sports. Once again, a lot of the Minnesota kids go east. Now Spring Lake Park on the attack, trying to get the equalizer here. Edwards, ground ball. Wigan trying to control, and then it's grabbed by Schmidt. Schmidt, pass inside, ground ball. Can Andover get it? Yes, Farrell. Farrell tries to run out of there, and they're going to hang on. Katie Farrell's done a nice job on that end of the field, and then good run to the middle. Pass. Off the stick of Menny, she'll scoop it up. Menny the other way. Andover a good run. Menny just a sophomore. She'll set up on the right side. Quick toss into the middle, and a goal! Nice feed. Menny inside to Eisinger, and Andover has a 2-goal lead. And that comes at 2:45. And Andover on a serious roll. 3 goals to end the second. 1 in the third, now 1 in the fourth. And they're up 6-4 here on their home field.
Andover Husky goal to number 77, her first varsity goal, Caitlin Eisinger.
That is her first goal on varsity. And once again, the assist to Menny. Menny just beautiful feed inside. Eisinger the catch. So the sophomore feeds the sophomore. Brad Guy's got to be happy about that. Another draw control knocked away. Good defensive play by Dewar to knock it out of the stick. And Spring Lake Park's going to hang on to it. That was a big defensive play. Spring Lake Park, whatever momentum they had early in the second, up 4-1, has completely evaporated. And Andover's done a good job on the draws, and they've done a nice job on ground balls. They haven't made a lot of unforced errors. They've played well. They've had some big saves out of Morgan. And they are playing well, looking to even their record at 3-3. And after the roof caved in at Hudson last night, now they're just going to try and finish it off here at home. This would be a nice bounce back. Ella Thorson trying to get to the front. Good run. Turned away. I think we might get another free position. And this is going to be on the 8. So she was right on that 8-meter line. And here's a chance for Ella. Once again, the goalie roll maker. She'll step, she'll shoot, bounce over the top of the net. Ground ball back there. Trying to gain control. Evers. They're actually going to give it to the Panthers. Nice job defensively there by Paige Scandrett. Now they're going to bring in their run the other way. Long run for Kylie Dewar. Is going to set up on the left. They'll settle in. And now they need some zone time. And then there's an unforced error and a turnover into the corner. Andover's going to get it back. Well, we haven't seen. Andover did that in the third, and now Spring Lake Park in the fourth. Huge error. Down by 2, and the clock on the move. So we come up on 7 to go in the fourth. That is painful for Sam Hasbrook. That's one of those where you go, oh, no. Nice catch by Many. Put it on the ground off a hop and comes back the other way. Or excuse me, that's not Many. That's Yates. Yates has a goal and an assist. Many where it's 5. Yates 15. I just caught a glance of the 5. Thorson turned away. We've seen that a lot. Good defense over there by Addie Rollmaker. Now it's Many. Many in the middle, can't get a shot away. They had 3 bodies on her. Now Andover sets it up on the left. They go to the goal line, extended and Evers. Evers can't get in, won't give up. Shot and a goal. Evers just would not be denied and found an alley. Faked left, went right, got the shot. Andover has scored 6 goals in a row. And for Evers, second of the night. Time of the goal, 5:52. And now it's 7-4 Andover, and we get a timeout. Sam Hasbrook has seen enough. Andover, once again, they were in big-time trouble, down 4-1, 1:56 into the second. And after they got roughed up at Hudson, Wisconsin last night, 15-0, they responded. 3 goals to end the half. And then the lone goal in the third. That was Wagner at 11:48. That came late in the third to give him a 5-4 lead. And now Eisinger off a terrific feed from Many. And then just an outstanding power move by the junior. Evers, her second of the game. And it's 7-4 Huskies. Here's what's coming up for Andover. Next week, they will be at Centennial on Monday, then host Breck on Tuesday. Those are the only 2 games next week. Then the middle of May already, Robbinsdale, Armstrong, Cooper, the road trip to Duluth, and then we're into the final games of the season. At Maple Grove on the 19th, and then home to Elk River Zimmerman. You don't see it on your schedule on the 21st, and it's on to section play. It's going quick. And, of course, Spring Lake Park, after tonight, will play Hopkins at home on Saturday. And then they will host Champlin Park on Monday and Anoka on Wednesday the 7th. They'll be on the road at Breck and on the road at Osseo on the 19th. Final game of the regular season for them on the 21st. They'll host Totino Grace St. Anthony. You don't see that on your schedule, but that's it. We're closing in on the end of the regular season. And then here's what we got coming up on QCTV, boys lacrosse. Once again on Friday, Duluth-Denfeld against Champlin Park. We'll see the Rebels, and I will be there with our QCTV crew. Next week, we got boys volleyball, Irondale and Anoka. The Tornadoes having a really nice year in boys volleyball. And then some softball coming up, Maple Grove, Champlin Park, and Rogers, Andover. So boys volleyball, boys and girls lacrosse, softball, baseball action here on QCTV this spring. And once again, we appreciate you tuning in wherever you are. Out of the timeout, here we go, 6:08 here in the fourth. Andover's grabbed control, up 7-4. And now can they close it out? And job one for Spring Lake Park, winning that draw, and it's Dewar. They're trying to find Schmidt. She has 3 goals. But Andover's done a nice job. Schmidt just outside the 12. Walks over to her right. They get it inside. Dewar and a goal. Just like that. Nice play. Dewar gave it to Schmidt, got it back, and Dewar scores. And Spring Lake Park on the board. And for Dewar, her first of the night. And that comes at 6:15. Assist to Schmidt. Schmidt coming in at 15 goals, 2 assists. She now has 18 goals and 3 assists on the year. Just like that, it's 7-5. Still plenty of time for Spring Lake Park. One goal does not make momentum. And imperative for Andover to get a draw at control here. And, of course, Schmidt, certainly a face-off specialist. Ground ball. Spring Lake Park going to get it again? Yeah, indeed. Kylie Dewar, the sophomore, had position. She had the goal a moment ago. And now Dewar and Schmidt work together right out on top. And now it's Schmidt going to work. She has a little room. Dodge to the left. She gets a shot away. Was that an illegal shot attempt? May have been. No, she's going to get a free position at the 8. So just like that, Spring Lake Park could cut it to 1 goal here. With Schmidt, she already has 3 on the night. If she scores career number 100, trying to deny Lucy Morgan, the Andover goalie. She'll step in. She'll get to the front. Put it on the ground. I think we're going to do this all over again. So Grace Schmidt trying for 4th of the game, career number 100 right here. Schmidt powers her way in. Shot. Scores! There it is! And you can see the bench celebrating. They have signs. That's number 100 in her career. And 4th of the night. And it comes at 7:24 of the 4th. And now it's a 1-goal game. And you see the signage down on that Spring Lake Park sideline. As they had them ready to go. Quite a moment for Grace Schmidt. Needed 4, has 4. And now we'll go right back to the middle of the field. Ella Thoresen against Schmidt. Well, it is a 1-goal game. That timeout paid dividends for Sam Hasbrook, head coach for Spring Lake Park. Another ground ball opportunity. Another pickup for Dewar. And now Spring Lake Park goes back to work. All the momentum. They get to the side of the net. It goes wide. Who's going to get to that ground ball and running it down? Huge ground ball pickup. Piper Andrews gets it to the goalie. Here's Morgan. Morgan clears to the left. Andover gets it back. They want to get to the attack zone. Eisinger couldn't run it down. Battle for this ground ball. Won by Andover at the moment. Andover's going to hang on to it. Greta Gaz gave it up. And that was huge for Gaz to get that. And now Ola Thorsen's going to slow it way down along the sideline. With 3:35 to go and Andover leading at 7-6. 2 quick goals. A little over a minute apart for Spring Lake Park. Including Schmidt, her 4th of the game, career number 100. This is Many. Many in the middle, near the 8, turned away. Side of the net, that's Evers. 2 goals tonight for Andover. Including the 7th of the game. Many over there. Getting bumped. Andover doesn't need to score, but boy, another goal would be huge with 2:45 to go in the game. They're up by 1. They have it. And that is the key. And now Many is going to just trot over to the near sideline. And Spring Lake Park certainly has to challenge. Here's Thorsen. Ella Thorson is going to run out of there. She can take contact and hang on to it. And she has been hounded by Rollmaker. Rollmaker hit her on the hand once, and Thorson still didn't give it up. Rollmaker all over her. Thorson down on the goal line extended. Playing keep away. Coming up on 2 to go in the game. Can Andover hang on to the 1-goal lead? Thorson's got it. So give it up. Here's Many. They have handled it a ton here in this possession. Many inside the 8 to the left. Gives it up. Evers. Evers challenged immediately by Scandrett. Evers back out to the 12. Eisinger. She has the goal. Eisinger put it on the ground. Opportunity for Spring Lake Park. Oh, she got it back. Nice job by Eisinger to shield the ball with her body and be able to get it back. Now it's Many. Many begins a run inside the 8, trying to draw that free position. Now it's Evers. Evers inside the 8. Doesn't get bumped. 1 to go. Now Spring Lake Park's really got to push. And we get a timeout Andover. Brad Geis wants to talk it over with 1 on the dot remaining in the 4th. Andover leading at 7-6. Well, a good job. Sophia Many has put in some steps on this attack. Her and Ella Thorson. And I would think what Brad Geis is going to say, let's not wear anybody out. Ella Thorson's had a bit of a breather. Let's try and feed her. On the timeout. By the way, tonight's game sponsored by Snap Fitness Andover. Snap Fitness Andover's Mindset Performance Academy program helps student athletes level up their game on and off the playing field. Learn more at www.snapfitness.com or on Facebook at Snap Fitness Andover and Instagram at snapfitness_Andover. We have had a good game tonight. 2-1 Spring Lake Park after 1. Andover scored 3 in a row to close out quarter number 2 to tie it at 4 at the half. Andover the lone goal from Wagner in the 3rd made it 5-4. Andover started to pull away. Eisinger a goal, and then second of the game for Evers. And it was 7-4 Andover. Then Spring Lake Park out of a timeout. Got a goal from Dewar, and then Schmidt, her 4th of the game, career number 100. And now it's 7-6, but Andover has the ball with 1 minute remaining in the game. Been a great night for lacrosse. Now, there's some folks with blankets and coats and that sort of thing, but perfect night for the players. Here's Manny. Out of the break. She's going to begin her run. And as predicted, on a hop to Thorson. Ground ball opportunity. Can Spring Lake Park get to it? No. Many comes over to help out. Another ground ball battle along the sideline. Goes out of bounds. Spring Lake Park's going to get it. Well, they forced the turnover. And now Spring Lake Park, an opportunity. Late in the half. Here's Schmidt. Or excuse me. That is Bornis. They give it up. Edwards. Edwards got decked. This could be a free position, and it is. No, a charge on Edwards. Huge play. Allie Edwards with the charge. And now Andover the ball with 20.8 seconds left. They get it to the goalie. That's Morgan. Morgan around her net. The long clear. Still an opportunity for Spring Lake Park on the ground ball with 10 seconds remaining. Scrum at the middle of the field. Picked up there, Ella Thorson. That is going to do it. Thorson along the sideline. Andover is going to win the game tonight at home, 7-6 over Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids. What a finish. Well, Spring Lake Park had the opportunity, but Lucy Morgan, the winning goalie for Andover, Jane Romaker, who was ill early in the game, loses the game in net. Both made great saves, but Andover moves to 3-3 with the 7-6 win tonight. 2 goals in the game for Mila Evers. Once again, we talked about Morgan in net, outstanding. Ella Thorson, terrific job playing keep away. Sophia Many, terrific job playing keep away for Andover tonight. And as we mentioned, Huskies done until next week. They'll be on the road at Centennial on Monday, Breck on Tuesday, Robbinsdale, Armstrong, Cooper the following week. So 2 games Monday, Tuesday for Andover next week. Spring Lake Park, once again, they'll take on Hopkins on Saturday in a matinee at home, 11:45 start, and then they will host Champlain Park next Monday. The Rebels having a big year, and then they host Anoka on Wednesday. Big thanks to our QCTV crew here on site, back in the studios in Champlain, led by Trinity Thompson. Always fun. Steve Thompson here. Big thanks to both coaches providing great information. Brad Geis from Andover, Sam Hasbrook from Spring Lake Park, Coon Rapids. And a big thanks to our hosts here at Andover. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a good evening.